How can I as a man have the right and accessibility to express all of who I am?
How far can we go, though, without being perceived as being brutes?
Where does that leave me as a student who I don't really feel like I've impressed anybody?
How close can you get to another man before it's dangerous or unacceptable, or you may be labeled gay?
What are men going to do about this?
It's really the idea of like excellence. Like you want to be as best as you can be. So when you're going out there, you're going to be out there and you're going to be competing and you're going to be in a position to come out on top. And I suppose, the combination of making sure that all your bases are covered in terms of all your responsibilities, and that you're also not just, meeting the status quo, but going out there and to dominate.
I think that, men want to appear as the stereotypical man and as being able to, turn the other cheek and take care of things for themselves.
There's a need to be strong. There's a need to overcome. There's a need to not have fear. There's a need to prove how tough you are, and to prove that you're worthwhile, or to at least make other people believe that through presenting yourself as such. But I think there's also a point where you need to have a sense of kindness and a sort of a soft spot and a sense of righteousness. You can't just be a hard asshole all the time, which is something that a lot of guys I know myself kind of idealize.
Yeah, I think it has that double meaning. Is on the one hand, be this kind of man, the one who conforms, the one who is part of the team, and the other one is be a man is an opportunity to say, oh yeah, sure, I'll be a man by telling you, no, I'm going to do this thing because this is what I believe.
So being a man for me has to do with a combination of being able to be internal, kind of knowing what I think and feel, and trusting intuition and imagination, as well as then picking and choosing spots where I'm going to be open, expressive, assertive, direct.
20 years ago, if you'd asked me about being a man, it would have meant bringing home the bacon, supporting the family, etc., etc. Now I've reached a point in life where it's actually being authentic to what I see as my principles, my guiding ethics, morals, whatever.
If you need to ignore something to man up, it's probably some sort of inhibition or something that's holding you back, which could be emotional. It could be a physical one, something like a fear. I think a lot of masculinity, as far as manning up, and something that you're taught to ignore, is fear. Fear of getting hurt when you're a sports team. I'm sure tons of guys could relate to the story of mom and dad, encouraging you to get in there in a contact sport or whatever sport, but to go in and prove yourself. And I think that's kind of healthy, because I think real life demands that a lot of times, where you have to kind of step up. And
for me, I think it's being comfortable with one's own gender, which is a more intellectual sort of philosophy, and also being in tune with the feminine side. I try to live my life without the binary construction of masculine versus feminine, and try to hone in on the fact that all of the emotions that we have as men, whether we're crying and emotional, or whether we are angry, are part of an entire emotional spectrum that doesn't necessarily have to be male or female.
I think that, one of the downsides and the negative qualities of being a man is definitely the lack of emotion, or the lack of accepted emotion. Typically when you see a man show emotion, it's looked down upon. It's seen as showing weakness, and they want to see, you want to see men, even in popular culture, you want to see celebrities, you want to see them showing a tough exterior, showing that, they're able to be strong, and that's not something that, showing emotion isn't something that you would expect from a man, and I think that's a shame.
You question whether or not some of the things that you want to go out and do. So you want to go out and have man's night out or something, just go and play poker, or something like that. Whether that is a you know, an image or an idea of what it means to be a man that's fed in by the culture, or is that something that I actually like to do?
And I do think, to the extent we can examine gender roles and the sort of coercion that goes into making us men or making us women, it would liberate all of us to at least ask questions, right? Why can't I cry? Why do I have to be in charge? Why do I have to be the one who decides? Why do I have to pay? Why do I have to, never show emotion? These are all questions that men should demand to ask.